season starting in Formula 1 and a new way to kick off. I'm your commentator for this season, Braden Webb. Welcome to F1 fans. Let's get straight into this. We need to talk about now is George Russell. Will he be able to keep his defending title alive of beating all his teammates in quali? How will he go also being the first Williams driver? Now let's get on to Ferrari, as Ferrari didn't look that well in pre-season testing. They looked a bit slow. Will they be able to compete with the front runners still in Formula 1 for F1 2020? Now let's have a look at the other F1 debutant making his debut with the returning Esteban Ocon inside of the Renault. How will he be able to go for this season? Will he be able to challenge for a few podiums? And last but not least, it's going to be the McLarens. How will they be able to go for this season? Can they get third in the championship? And now with that all done, F1 fans, let's get straight into quali. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at the qualifying report. We have Lewis Hamilton on pole position with Valtteri Bottas not so far but just behind him. Right along in the second row we have Max Verstappen, Alexander Albon, Sebastian Vettel, Lance Stroll, Daniel Ricciardo, Sergio Perez, Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz, Esteban Ocon, Charles Leclerc, Daniel Kvyat, Magnussen, Hawk, Pierre Gasly, Kimi Raikkonen, George Russell, Romain Grosjean, and Antonio Giovinazzi to round off the grid. Now let's head down to the track. We are here for the Australian Grand Prix, ladies and gentlemen. On board with Lewis Hamilton, there's 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go here for the Australian Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas followed by Alexander Albon having a great start here, heading into turn 1 now. The Ferrari alongside Max Verstappen getting up in there with the Racing Point, Renault and the Racing Point not too far behind. Valtteri Bottas trying to get up alongside Lewis Hamilton. He'll just stick behind him. The Red Bull and Ferrari are going right at it. That seems to be Alexander Albon and Sebastian Vettel going at it. As they go a bit slowly into that turn, that brings up the whole entire field a whole bit closer. This is some great racing, ladies and gentlemen. Alexander Albon still following behind Lewis Hamilton, followed by Lance Stroll, Daniel Ricciardo, Sergio Perez, and Lando Norris, followed by Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc not too far behind him. But at the moment it is Sebastian Vettel versus Alexander Albon. Coming into turn 12 now. Will there be able to be some drag? Will Sebastian Vettel have a bad exit? Here they go. Alexander Albon with a little bit of drag. Will he be able to go for the move? Will he be able to go for the dive bomb? No, he'll just stick right behind Sebastian Vettel. How well can this race become? Now riding along with Damon Hawk now. He's trying to fight off the Alfa Romeo Kimi Raikkonen. And seems to go a bit wide there, Damon Hawk. He's got extremely wide. He runs into the contact with Kimi Raikkonen and George Russell. This is a massive fight. Oh, but no. It's Damon Hawk. He gets the position back. Will he be able to fend off his own teammate of George Russell and followed by Kevin Magnussen along behind? Coming into turn 12. They're going to go right at it. George Russell trying to get some DRS or some slipstream. He can't really get a lot. Could this race get any more fairer or bigger? Alexander Albon getting some great exit there. He's going to go on the inside of Sebastian Vettel. Will Sebastian Vettel leave him the room? Leave him space. Can Alexander Albon get it done on the outside? They're going to come into the last turn now. But it seems like Alexander Albon's got it, but not just quite yet. Now he does. Alexander Albon against Sebastian Vettel finally gets some moves done, and we'll probably see Alexander Albon at this rate just head off into the sunset. Now riding alongside with Damon Hawk and George Russell. Damon Hawk's going to go for the move. Damon Hawk gets the move done. There's a little bit of contact between the Williams. Will they come into the next fighting? But no, it seems as Damon Hawk gets the move done. A lovely move done by the Britishman on his F1 debut. And now a fight against Pierre Gasly and Kevin Magnussen with Kimi Raikkonen right behind them. They're going to come into this turn now. They're going to be going too wide at it. Kevin Magnussen gets a little bit of grass. Pierre Gasly gets a better exit. But can Kevin Magnussen get the outside line and get the slipstream? They're still going at it. Going into this turn now. Into turn 12. It seems as though Pierre Gasly has lost Kevin Magnussen. But Kevin Magnussen's going to have the DRS. Will Kevin Magnussen go for a move? No, he'll just stay right behind Pierre Gasly with Kimi Raikkonen alongside him. Now coming into these final turns now. will Kimi Raikkonen get the best slipstream out of both of them? Because I don't believe Pierre Gasly will have DRS from his teammate Daniel Kvyat, who's following in front of them. As you can see, both of the Williams just not too far behind. As now it seems as if this fight's over for a little while. I would stay tuned for this fight in the race. Here we go again with Damon Hawk going on the inside again of George Russell. Yet again, they're going for that move. These two Williams seem to be really fighting it out. Luckily enough, there might not be any team orders. But I can assure you, Damon Hawk is on the radio to his race engineer, Charlie Green, saying, dude, what's going on, you know? Let's see how this race will turn out. Now on the stairway to path 12 now. It seems as George Russell has gone into the side of Damon Hawk. Right as they come along turn 12, you know, George Russell with a good exit, but can Damon Hawk get the DRS? He can. Will he go for the move? No, he's not. That was a bit of contact still with these two Williams. They're really going at it. They're going scrap for toe. Who will be able to beat this battle? But here's now coming on to these last two turns now. Onto the main straight, as there goes George Russell. Nothing too serious. Damon Hawk with the medium tyres be able to stay out there far longer than George Russell can. And in comes the race leader, Lewis Hamilton, coming in for his pit stop now. The Mercedes pit crew getting perfectly ready. Getting those tyres on, no issues done, perfectly out with a great pit stop by the Mercedes AMG Petronas team right there. As we can just see into the distance, one of the Red Bull cars coming in as well as Lewis Hamilton sets out back onto the track. How long will you be able to take these tyres for? Now riding along with Lando Norris, as that seems to be Lewis Hamilton coming out of the pits. Oh boy, I think Lando Norris has some damage to his front wing there. That might make him a bit slow. He's on the outside. We've got Charles Leclerc that seems to be going around Lando Norris. Lando Norris is just going 10 times slower. Oh dear. It seems to be some wing damage there for the Brits, for the Britsman. Not very good at the minute. But he's got a Renault right behind him. It seems to be Esteban Ocon. Lando Norris going 10 times slower. Could this race get any worse for Lando Norris? He now has some wing damage. It's not the best. This might be a bit hard coming into turn 12. Will he be able to have enough grip and be able to stay on the line? Lando Norris now coming into there with Esteban Ocon not too far behind him. Lando Norris, he gets turn 12 done somehow, even with wing damage. But here comes Esteban Ocon on the outside of Lando Norris. Lando Norris can somehow defend, but it's going to be quite hard as Esteban Ocon seems more than stable to get that move done. As Esteban Ocon does get the move done, Lando Norris just there stuck, and it seems, oh there we go. Lando Norris seems to be entering the pit now. Does he have a mechanical issue, or is it actually a front wing that he has damage? Let's see as he enters the pits now. Got the Ferrari, the Renault in front of him, and here comes in. Here comes in the Renault in front of Lando Norris. Right as I say that, Lando Norris getting his front wing changed. Hopefully he'll be able to complete this race. Damon Hawk seems to be on his old tyres as he's got Sebastian Vettel right along the inside of him. Coming onto the stairway of turn 12, as I like to call that turn, as your commentator. Sebastian Vettel and Damon Hawk going at it. Damon Hawk with the really old tyres, but Sebastian Vettel with the brand new tyres. I would say he's talking to his race engineer saying, get out of Sebastian's way, but Sebastian Vettel's going to go on the outside. I think Damon Hawk's just understood, I'm not fighting Sebastian Vettel, the 4-time world champion, no way. Will Damon Hawk be able to come into the pits sooner rather than later? We shall not know. As he's coming up to the last turn now. Now, Damon Hawk doesn't seem to be going in. How long will Damon Hawk be able to take these tyres for? Now coming on to turn 12, as it seems both of the racing points are going to go wide on Damon Hawk. Going into turn 12, they both don't. Oh my goodness, that would have been one of the most craziest moves ever if both of the racing points got that done. But it seems frankly impossible for him to do that, as Damon Hawk is somehow keeping Sergio Perez behind him on those really old tyres. Damon Hawk's going to have to come in sooner rather than later, or else he might throw this lead away. Oh, not this lead, but this race away, as it seems. Yeah, there we go. Damon Hawk now coming to the pits. Can he get out in front of his teammate George Russell, what seems to be his biggest battle for this race? Damon Hawk now entering there with Haas not too far behind. Damon Hawk getting on those tyres. Well done by the Williams pit crew. Damon Hawk coming out of the pits there, as we can just see George Russell getting out in front of his teammate Damon Hawk. Will Damon Hawk be able to fight back? Here we go, Damon Hawk now trying to fight George Russell. He's got the slipstream. George Russell tries to defend. Damon Hawk wants the inside line. He'll force his way through. Once again going for that really dangerous move. Luckily somehow there is no contact, although Damon Hawk does have those really fresh tyres, so I don't think there's any way George Russell will be keeping up. Now riding on board with Lewis Hamilton as he blue flags George Russell in the Williams. Up next, what simultaneously seems to be Damon Hawk about to be the one that will get blue flagged. It will seem to be coming sooner rather than later. Lewis Hamilton seeming to have a quiet but a really lovely race. From first at the lights to first at the end of the race. Let's see how long it will take for Lewis Hamilton to blue flag Damon Hawk. Right on cue now as they're coming out of turn 12. Damon Hawk will let Lewis Hamilton by. Lewis Hamilton probably, if not one of the most quickest F1 drivers ever, just leading this race to victory. And now on the last lap, Lewis Hamilton wins the Australian Grand Prix. Congratulations to Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes AMG. Well done to Lewis Hamilton.
So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
And now let's have a look at the drivers' standing and the constructors' standings. We have Lewis Hamilton now leading with 26 points, followed by Valtteri Bottas, Alexander Albon, Daniel Ricciardo, Sergio Perez, Lance Stroll, Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc, Esteban Ocon, Pierre Gasly, Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen, Daniel Kvyat, Kimi Raikkonen, Damon Hawk, George Russell, Romain Grosjean, Antonio Giovinazzi, Kevin Magnussen, and Lando Norris sadly within DNF to end the championship on the drivers' standings. Now onto the constructors. We have Mercedes AMG Petronas leading, followed by BTW Racing Point, Red Bull Racing, Renault, McLaren, Ferrari, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, and Williams, and followed by Haas. That's it from me now on the track side. I shall see you all